Today I'm going to show you how to make the juiciest and the most tender chicken thighs in under 30 minutes. You guys are gonna love this one. All right, friends, welcome back to my kitchen. My name's Christina. I'm with eatingonadime.com. I'm going to link today's recipe in the description below for you. I'm going to show you guys how to make the easiest and the best oven-baked chicken thighs. I bet you're never going to want to make chicken another way. It has very simple ingredients, but the combination is perfect and the way it's cooked is amazing. As always, I've linked today's recipe in the description below. If you are new here, my sister Carrie and I are on a mission to help real families eat real food at home on a budget. So all of our recipes are going to be super easy to make, but we never want to sacrifice flavor. All right, let's get cooking. Before we get our chicken ready, let's preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We do want that high temperature to help the outside of the chicken get crispy while the inside still remains juicy. So while that oven's preheating, let's go ahead and get our chicken ready. First, you want a baking sheet. I like to do a baking sheet instead of a baking pan. It's just so the chicken can be spaced evenly apart and get more cooked on the outside. I'm going to line this with some parchment paper. This is just for easy cleanup. It is optional. You could do foil as well if you prefer. I cook almost every night in my kitchen, and I'm lining as much as I can for easy cleanup. It just makes everything go faster. And I'm just enough OCD where I want to cut this down so it fits exact. And my husband loves this when I do it too, because we have a rule in our house that if I cook, he cleans, and if he cooks, I clean. So he loves it when I line it because it makes his job even easier at the end. Now let's talk chicken thighs. Today's recipe is for oven-baked chicken thighs, and when you go to your grocery store, you might find that there's a lot of different options. So the ones that I like to use for this recipe is skin on, bone in. That's going to get the juiciest result. They do have boneless and skinless as well. Those are really, really good, but when we're baking them in the oven, they don't stay as juicy in my opinion. So that's why I like the skin on, bone in. Now I'm going to get these out of the package. This is what they look like if you're not familiar. And you just want to space them out on your baking sheet. Now get as much protein as your family will eat. This is 6 boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and for my family of 4, this is going to feed us sufficiently. I have 2 daughters, 2 teenage daughters and a husband, so my husband will probably eat 2, and then the rest of us will eat 1. Now, if you like to eat a little more protein, definitely you can do up to 12 in this recipe, and it's gonna work great. Okay, let me go wash my chicken fingers, and then we will get these seasoned up for the oven. The chicken is ready to go. Now we are going to drizzle about a tablespoon of olive oil on top of the chicken thighs. Now, when you go and look at the recipe itself, this recipe is for 12 chicken thighs, but I'm reducing it to 6 just based on my family size. Don't stress out on being exact on this olive oil. Just drizzle it over the chicken. And then what I like to do is take a basting brush and just rub the oil on all sides of the skin of that chicken thigh. So this is gonna help the skin on the chicken thigh get nice and crispy in that oven. Now, if you don't have olive oil or you want to know what else you can use any oil with a high smoke point. So what's that mean is it's not going to burn because we're cooking at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and you don't want it to burn because 1, it'll smoke up your house, and 2, it's going to make your chicken not taste so great. So you can use, oh, my oven's ready. You can use avocado oil. I'm using olive oil. Vegetable oil and canola oil have high smoke points as well. Those are generally just not as healthy, so a good olive oil is what I like to use. All right, perfect. Now let's get the seasoning ready. Now it's time for the seasoning. So you want to get like a small bowl or small mixing bowl, and I like to mix all of my seasonings together before I add them to the chicken. And that just makes sure that they all get combined and then they're evenly distributed on the chicken breast. So it's one little extra step, but I think it has a big impact. So first we're going to start with some black pepper. I'm going to put it just in my mixing bowl here. I am doing fresh cracked black pepper, so I am just eyeballing about a teaspoon worth. If If you have just regular pepper, that's fine. Use what you like. I usually have like regular as well, but I'm out. So I'm gonna use my cracked black pepper. And this is what I prefer to cook with. I just think it gives more flavor. So it's completely up to you. Okay, then we're going to do a teaspoon of salt right in the bowl as well. And if you're wondering about any of my kitchen utensils, friends, I'm gonna link all of those in the recipe or in the description below. So this was a good way to eyeball my pepper because it was not near as much pepper as salt. So I'm just gonna put some more because we love pepper in this family. Okay, so we have salt, pepper. Now there's an Italian seasoning mix. This is a blend that you can get at most grocery stores. I'm gonna add a teaspoon as well. I'm gonna link this recipe in the description below. In case you can't find the blend at your grocery store, you can make it at home. We love having this on hand and we use it all the time. It's amazing. And then a half a teaspoon of paprika. And that's it, just 4 seasonings, guys. Now on these seasonings, on the recipe, it is for 12 chicken thighs, but we like ours pretty seasoned, so I'm just gonna go for it with my 6 today. I'm just feeling it, you know? And this is a great base recipe, so you can easily add or take away stuff that you don't like. So if you're not big on the paprika, just leave it out. Or if you're sensitive to salt, you could always half the amount. You do want some salt, but you don't need to use the full amount. Now take your seasoning mixes and sprinkle it over the chicken thighs. Sometimes when I'm on these videos, I always find that I leave this hand up for some reason, so I'm trying to think about it more. Okay, so what I like to do is I sprinkle it on top and then I'm gonna rub it in with my basting brush. And since I did extra seasonings, I'm just gonna eyeball it. I may not use it all, we'll see how we go. That looks pretty good actually. Then take your basting brush and rub it in. When I say rub it in, this does 2 things. It spreads it evenly on the chicken and it also rubs it into that olive oil and keeps it onto the chicken and it'll cook more into the flavor. Now it's ready to bake. You want to bake this in the center rack of your oven for 30 to 35 minutes until the chicken reaches an internal temperature of 165°F. So the way that I recommend that you check that is a digital meat thermometer. I'm going to link this below. Any meat thermometer will work. This is going to change the way you cook in your kitchen. You can make sure the chicken is to a safe temperature to enjoy, and you can also make sure it's not overcooked, because we want it right around there, like 165, 170. If we get up to 190, 200, we're really gonna lose the juiciness in the chicken. So this is a great way to make sure that you're right there. And I'm just gonna show you guys how I use this when this chicken's ready. But first, let's get this in the oven and I will see you guys in about 30 minutes. Okay, so it's been cooking for about 30 minutes and we just wanna check the temperature on the chicken. So I just pull out the sheet slightly and then take your meat thermometer and put it into the center of one of the chicken. And then you can read it right here. And you're wanting it to get to 165. And what's really cool about this meat thermometer is that it has sorry, that's my timer. It has the reminders of the temperature on it for you. So if you forget, you can just look. So this is reading about 160, so I'm gonna cook it a couple of minutes longer and then check it from there. So I wanted to show you up close, you could see my thermometer. Oh, this one's actually reading cooked first, so that's great. You stick it in the middle and you check the temperature there. You wanna make sure that that thermometer is in the inside. So it's like if you put it on the outside cooks first, but you want to get into the middle to make sure that's the middle's done, because nobody likes to cut into raw chicken. All right, so this is not quite to 165 yet, so I'm going to cook it a bit longer. Okay, so it's been cooking about 5 more minutes. I'm going to put this in the biggest one here, and there it is. It's reading over 165, so it's ready to go. So I like to check a couple just to make sure. All right, that is good. One more. Let's check this one. Yep, they're all reading over 165. 5, so it's good. So go ahead and remove the chicken from the oven, and you want to let it set for about 5 minutes before serving. After you let it set for about 5 minutes, it's ready to serve and enjoy. Now, the best thing about this chicken is that you can serve it with anything. It's great. We're having this for dinner tonight, and I'm serving it with some wild rice and roasted Brussels sprouts, but you could easily serve this with mashed potatoes. Pan-fried potatoes would be amazing. Noodles of any kind. I like just classic buttered noodles. That would be awesome. The possibilities are endless. Only thing left is to taste test it. So that's my favorite part of cooking, is the taste testing. Let's talk a little bit about the skin. I know some people want to avoid the skin just because of health reasons, and that's fine. I would still recommend that you cook the chicken thighs with the skin on, because the chicken itself will be juicier, and then you can just remove it and enjoy the chicken underneath the skin if you would prefer. But let's try this. Ooh, it's so juicy and so tender. Perfect. It's cooked perfectly. This is my favorite way to make chicken thighs. The skin is crispy without having to fry it, and the chicken is amazing. All right, friends, it's dinner time, so I gotta get out of here. But thank you guys so much for joining me this evening in my kitchen. I hope I inspired you to cook at home. It doesn't have to be hard to be delicious. And remember, it doesn't have to break the bank. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss one of our easy recipes. And don't forget, I've linked today's recipe in the description below. Once you try it out, please leave us a comment and let us know what you think. Again, thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, friends.